Aloha and welcome to Vinyasa Flow Yoga. This practice is going to be about 60 minutes long. My name is Katie, this here is Bradley, and we're going to work on our inner thighs and our hips today, and also a little bit of shoulder opening, but mostly that lower body focus to open through our hips. So today all you're going to need is your mat, so go ahead and grab that, roll it out, and get your space nice and ready. And we'll get started in child's pose. So for your child's pose, your knees will be open out a little bit wider than normal. So widen those knees about to the edges of your mat. So you have a wide-legged child's pose, toes touch together at the back, and just let your arms extend out long in front of you. And as you extend those arms out long in front of you, let the point between your eyebrows rest naturally down on the earth, on your mat. And close your eyes. So with your knees a little bit wider, that allows your hips to just open up a little bit more right from the beginning here. Your hips press back towards your heels, and that's a nice opening through your low back. And then feel your heart dip down towards the mat as you stretch your arms a little bit more forward, lengthening your spine. And just become more aware of your physical self here. So we just observe that outermost layer of ourselves. And after you do that initial scan of your body, let yourself dive in a little bit deeper and notice any excess chit-chat that might be going on in the mind and the brain. And for the practice of yoga, allow yourself to clear those excess thoughts out. Notice what they are and just pick them out one by one. And just observe the mind rather than focusing or attaching on to any one thing. Now let's begin to focus on our breath. As we inhale in through our nose, let your breath travel all the way down to the base of your belly. And as you exhale out, let that breath completely go through the nose. Let your heart sink as you exhale. And big breath in through the nose. Fill your belly, fill your lungs. Drink that breath all the way up to the top of your throat. And as you exhale, let it all go just as smooth as it came in. Good. Inhale, big breath in through the nose. Fill your belly, fill the lungs. Let your breath drink all the way up to the top of your throat. And smoothly release from the throat, the rib cage, all the way down from the base of the belly. Continue this pattern of breathing so that your inhales travel down to your belly, so you're almost pressing it out towards the earth. You may even feel the outer edges of your belly along your thighs. And as you exhale, let it release from your belly. That deep rhythmic belly breathing in and out through the nose, cultivating that oceanic sound in the back of the throat. Allowing this breath to kind of bring you more into this space, more into this present moment. Allow the breath to clear any extra thoughts going on. Allow it to bring energy to the body and a sense of calmness and peace. Let's take another big breath in through the nose and out through the nose. Nice. Now on your next inhale, keep your eyes closed. As we begin to shift forward onto hands and knees, come into your tabletop position. So keep your eyes closed here. I encourage you to do so you can really feel in towards the body, and let your hands just naturally come underneath your shoulders, knees under your hips. Keep those eyes closed as you begin to roll your shoulders down your back, tilt your tailbone up to the sky, lift through your chin, cow pose. And as you exhale, curl back up and in, tuck through your chin, press down and towards the mat so you feel your upper back arch towards the sky. Good. Big inhale, shoulders back, tailbone high, lift through your chin, open through your collarbones. And as you exhale, curl back up and in. Good. So just move with your breath here. Let your inhale breath start that movement into cow pose, letting your shoulders roll back and your tailbone tilt high. And your exhale breath begins the next motion as you dip down through your tailbone and tuck through your chin. Good. You can continue here in this linear fashion. If you would like to get a little bit more dynamic, please feel free to circle those hips back towards your heels, side to side. Move into the spine in whichever way naturally arises. Getting those nice big circular motions, maybe through the head and neck. Maybe into the wrists as you circle around side to side, opening through the side waist. Just allow yourself to have a freedom of movement here. We're just opening through the vertebrae, allowing the vertebrae to get all those little cracks and pops out, warming the spine. Connecting with our breath. Take another breath or two here, just finding a nice freedom of movement. And then allow yourself to come back into a neutral spine. You can flutter your eyelids open if you haven't already. Gaze down between your thumbs. Create that nice neutral spine. Reach straight through the crown of your head. And then we're going to extend our right leg out to the right. So straight out to the right from your right hip. Make sure your toes are pointing forward. Shoulders back. Take an inhale in. And exhale out here. Good. As you take your next inhale, let's reach our right arm up to the sky. Roll your right shoulder back. So you're twisting open towards the right. Stack your shoulders. Now as you exhale, thread that right arm underneath. Let your right shoulder ground down towards the earth. Bend your left elbow. So you're going to feel a deep stretch in that right inner thigh. Big breath in. And big breath out. One more breath in. And one more breath out. Next inhale, you'll travel all the way back up. Reach your right arm to the sky. Roll your right shoulder back, look up. And on your exhale, we'll come back, take your right hand back to the earth. Draw your right knee back underneath your right hip, and we'll switch sides. So take your left leg to extend straight out to the left. Make sure your left toes are pointing straight forward so your whole foot is down on the earth. Ground through those palms. Take a breath here and just feel that nice opening through that left inner thigh. On your next inhale, take that left arm towards the sky. Roll your left shoulder back. Stack through the shoulders. And as you exhale, we're going to thread that left arm underneath. Take your left shoulder to the earth. Bend your right elbow. Good. So press your hips evenly back. You should feel a nice stretch through that inner thigh. A good rotation through the spine and low back. Let's take one more full breath in. And one more full breath out. On your next inhale, take your left arm back up to the sky. Roll your left shoulder back. Stack those shoulders. And then exhale, let's take that left hand back under the shoulder. Take your left knee back under your hip. Take a big breath in with a neutral spine. Tuck your toes behind you. Press your hips back towards your heels. Stretch through the arches of your feet. So you want to spread those fingers wide, ground through your palms. Roll your shoulders back, gaze out in front of your fingertips. Take a big breath in. And then as you exhale, begin to press your hips all the way up towards the sky into downward facing dog. Good. So we're in our first downward dog. Find some freedom of movement here. Maybe shift forward and back over your toes towards your wrists. Maybe you bend both knees, maybe one at a time. Whatever your body needs in this moment to kind of just work into this posture, allow yourself to move into those movements. Relax through your head and neck, maybe even shake it out, yes and no. Just work your way into this downward dog. And once we settle into our downward dog, your hands are shoulders width distance, feet hips width. Let your hips press high to the sky. Let your shoulders roll down and away from your ears with your hips pressing high. Good. Take a big breath in. Now as you exhale, just begin to tiptoe those feet up to the top of the mat. Take your feet all the way up until they come between the wrists. Bend your knees a lot. Tuck your chin towards your chest. Grab a hold of opposite elbows, ragdoll arms. Relax your head and neck in that nice window you've created with the arms. Let yourself just kind of fall forward, side to side. Let that weight of your spine hang over the legs so that you feel that nice opening through the low back, through the hamstrings, backs of the legs. Head and neck can shake out yes and no if you still feel that the head and neck is a little tense this morning. Okay. One more breath here. Then release those hands down to the earth. Tuck your chin towards your chest and let's begin to unravel the spine. So as those knees are softly bent, tuck your chin towards your chest. Let your head and neck be the last to rise up. Shoulders shrug up towards your ears and then open down your back. Good. Let's inhale, reach our arms up towards the sky. Extend up high. And as you exhale, bend your elbows, drop your head back, lift through your heart, shoulders back, squeeze through those shoulder blades. Inhale, reach your arms up towards the sky. And as you exhale, soften your knees, begin to swan dive forward. Relax your head and neck all the way down. Soften the knees. Inhale, lengthen, halfway uplift. So your fingertips can graze your shins or stay on the mat. Shoulders back, lengthen through the crown of your head. Now as you exhale, take your hands to the mat. Step your feet all the way to the back of the mat. High plank pose. Take a big breath in here. Engage your core. Ground through those hands so the shoulders are right over your wrists. Hips in line with the shoulders. Big breath in. Now as you exhale, take your knees down to the earth. Walk your hands forward. Melt your heart down towards the ground. Let your heart just press down towards the mat as you gaze forward. Good. Now as you inhale, shift forward into Sphinx pose. Let your knees slide back. Pull your heart through. So your forearms are down. Lift through your chest, shoulders back. Now as you exhale, let's lower your heart down and tent your hands to the outside of your mat. Elbows are high and outside. Begin to roll your shoulders side to side. Circle them out. Free up that upper spine, the thoracic spine. Maybe twist side to side if that feels good. Really get a nice opening through the upper back. Take another breath or two here. Really let yourself move into the shoulders. Move in towards that heart space and just notice how it feels this morning or whatever time of day it is for you. Good, and let's come back through center. Take your time. Hands will come underneath your shoulders, elbows point straight back. Lift through your heart. Inhale for baby cobra pose. Press your chest forward, shoulders roll back, elbows point back. Good. Tuck your toes behind you. Press your hips all the way back towards your heels. And then lift your hips to the sky for your downward facing dog. Big breath in, hips high. And as you exhale, knees bend, look to the top of the mat, step or even lightly hop all the way up until your feet come between your wrists. Inhale, lengthen just halfway lift, flat spine, roll those shoulders down and away from your ears. Exhale, forward fold, tuck your chin towards your chest, bend your knees a lot. Let's unravel our spine, come all the way up to standing. Head and neck will come up last, so let your shoulders really scrunch up towards your ears. And open down your back. Inhale, reach your arms up towards the sky, look up, lengthen. Exhale, baby back bend, bend those elbows, lift through your heart, squeeze through your shoulder blades, look up. Inhale, mountain pose, reach your arms high. Exhale, swan dive forward, forward fold, relax your head and neck. Inhale, lengthen halfway up, lift, flat spine. And as you exhale, plant your palms, step your feet back, high plank pose. Take a big breath in. Now as you exhale, let's take our knees down, walk your hands forward, Anahatanasana, puppy dog pose. Melt your chest down, tilt your tailbone to the sky, gaze forward. As you inhale, roll your shoulders down and away as you shift forward into Sphinx pose. Pull your heart through, shoulders back, lift through your chest. And as you exhale, lower your heart, tent your hands to the outside of your mat, roll your shoulders side to side, circle them out. And we'll lower back through center, hands under the shoulders, roll them back, point your elbows back. Inhale, baby cobra, shoulders back, lift through your heart. Exhale, tuck your toes, hips to heels, downward facing dog. Lift those hips high. And exhale out. Inhale, look to the top of the mat. This time, let's take our feet to the outsides of our hands at the top of the mat. Okay. So let your toes point out in either direction. Let your heels point in. We're going to take our hands to our inner thighs. Press your knees away from one another. Good. So it's okay if your shoulders shrug up towards your ears here. You really just want to emphasize pressing your knees away from one another. Good. Sink those hips low so your hips are in line with your knees. Take an inhale forward, and as you exhale, dip your left shoulder down, roll your right shoulder back, twist to the right. Yeah, nice. So you just get deep in those hips. Inhale, let's come back through center. Exhale to the left. Dip your right shoulder down, sink those hips low, look out past that left shoulder. Nice. Inhale back through center. Exhale to the right. Inhale back through center. Exhale to the left. Sink those hips low, twist. One more time each side. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist. Good job. Inhale through center. Now as you exhale, lengthen your legs, turn your toes in towards one another, heels out, forward fold, wide legs. Take a hold of opposite elbows, ragdoll arms, relax your head and neck. Let your hips press high towards the sky. Feel nice length through your spine, through your vertebrae as your crown of your head just feels nice and heavy towards the earth. Feel a nice opening through your inner thighs, through your low back. Relax through your head and neck. Deep breath here. And deep breath out. Good. Now release those hands to the earth. Inhale, lengthen halfway up, lift. And as you exhale, plant your palms, step your feet back into high plank pose. Take a big breath in, engage your core. This time as you exhale, you can choose to come onto your knees or full chaturanga. Exhale, lower, point those elbows straight back, lower halfway. Inhale, lift your heart, lengthen your arms, lift your thighs, upward facing dog. Nice job. Now as you exhale, let's roll back through our toes, pull up and in through your core, downward facing dog. Press high to the sky through those hips. Inhale and exhale, release. Nice, let's inhale our right leg to the sky, reach it high, and then begin to bend your right knee, let your hips stack open. Reach up through that right knee. Keep your shoulders squared off. And let's take a few hip circles. So hug your right knee towards your chest. Open out and around and just let yourself take a few big circles on your own. Circle it around as fast, big or slow as you like. And then reach that right knee to the sky. Open out. And as you exhale, hug your right knee in close. Place your right foot all the way up to the top of the mat. Keep your back knee lifted. Square your hips forward. Ground through your right foot. Inhale, rise, crescent pose, high lunge. Square the hips forward, relax through the shoulders. Lift through your heart, lengthen through that back leg. So you're really grounding into that front foot. Big breath in. Now as you exhale, open warrior two. Back heel grounds down. Make sure your right foot is a straight line in front of that left arch. Relax your shoulders, get low into your front knee, bend deep. Turn the right palm to the sky. Inhale, reach up and back. Reverse your warrior. Lengthen all the way through that right side waist. Now as you exhale, windmill your hands down towards the mat. Spin onto your back toes, lower your back knee down. Take your hands behind your back, interlace, ground through your right foot. Inhale, lift through your heart into a low lunge, opening through your chest. Nice. So there's a slight tuck of your tailbone, lift through the chest. Beautiful. And as you exhale, take your hands down to the earth. Send your right foot back to meet the left. And you can move through a vinyasa if you choose. So it's inhale, high plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. So you can always move through those in between our flows. Inhale, left leg to the sky. Bend your left knee, stack your hips open. Good, so really feel that nice opening through the hip. Take a few hip circles, just like you did on the other side. Hugging in, out, and around. Get some nice movement through that hip. Some good opening, as fast or slow as feels right through your hip. On your next inhale, let that left knee rise up towards the sky. And as you exhale, hug your left knee towards your chest. Place the left foot all the way up to the top of the mat. Keep your back knee lifted. As you inhale, rise into a high lunge, crescent pose. Reach your arms high, square your hips forward, relax through your shoulders. So that back leg is strong and straight. Square your shoulders forward. Take a big breath in. As you exhale, open warrior two. Slice those arms through the air. Bend deep into that left knee. Let your left knee open slightly to the left so that you can see that left big toe down underneath you. Relax the shoulders, get low. Good, left palm turns to the sky. Inhale, reach up and back. Reverse your warrior. Feel nice length through that left side waist. Now as you exhale, windmill your hands all the way down to the earth. Spin onto your back toes and lower your right knee down. Hands come behind the back to interlace. Inhale, lift up through your heart. Roll your shoulders back. Slight tuck with that tailbone. Lift through your heart, look up towards the sky. Squeeze through your shoulder blades. Good. Now on your next exhale, let's hinge forward. Take your hands to the earth. Tuck your right toes. Send your left foot back to meet the right. Take an inhale breath, high plank. Exhale breath, chaturanga. Inhale breath, upward dog. Exhale breath, downward dog. Nice job. Big breath in. And big breath out. Bend your knees, look to the top of the mat. Take your feet to the outsides of your hands, all the way at the top of the mat. Toes out, heels in. And let's lower our hips down between our heels for Malasana squat, yogi squat. Take your hands to heart center, elbows, press your knees away, ground through those heels. Take a breath in as you roll your shoulders back. And let your exhale sink your hips a little bit lower. Good. Next inhale, take your hands down to the earth. Lengthen your legs, toes turn in, heels turn out, hips to the sky. Inhale, halfway up, lift. Exhale, hands to the mat. Step your feet back, high plank pose. Big breath in. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Good. So let's flow breath to movement. Inhale, right leg to the sky. Bend your right knee, stack your hips open. Exhale, one big hip circle. Hug in, open out and around. Inhale, breath, right knee high. Exhale, breath, hug your knee in, place it to the top of the mat. Right foot grounds down, inhale, high lunge. Good, exhale, open, warrior two. Inhale, breath, reverse your warrior. Exhale, breath, windmill your hands all the way down, spin onto your back toes, lower your back knee. Hands interlace behind your back, inhale, lift your heart, shoulders back, look up. Exhale, hands to the mat, send your right foot back, high plank pose, inhale. Exhale, lower chaturanga. Inhale, lift your heart, shoulders back, upward dog. And exhale, downward facing dog, left side. Inhale, left leg to the sky. Bend your left knee, stack your hips open. Exhale, hug your left knee towards your chest. Open out and around. Let your inhale breath reach that left knee high. And your exhale, hug your left knee towards your chest. Place your left foot to the top of the mat. Inhale, rise, crescent pose, reach up. Exhale, open, warrior two. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, windmill your hands down to the mat, spin onto your back toes, lower your back knee. Take your hands behind your back. Inhale, lift your heart, shoulders back, look up. Exhale, hands to the earth. Left foot back to meet the right, high plank, inhale. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, lift your heart, shoulders back. And exhale, downward facing dog. Lift those hips high, big breath in. And big breath out. Nice job. So we're gonna come down onto our knees. We're gonna come into frog pose. So for frog pose, we're gonna turn horizontal on our mat. And you can fold your mat in half or place a towel underneath your knees if you need to do so, just to protect the knees a little bit more. So I'm not gonna fold my mat because Bradley looks so peaceful right now and my knees usually do pretty well. So we're just gonna leave him there. But if you need, remember, you can fold your mat so that you get some more padding for those knees. So take your knees out straight from your hips. So you want your legs to look like a 90-degree bend on both sides for frog pose. So flex both feet. Inner arches of the feet are down on your mat. So your toes are pointing out. So get that nice alignment with your legs first. Open your knees out to your degree, wherever that is today, where you feel that nice stretch in your inner hip. So we're gonna move into that first, and then you take your hands in front of you. And you can come down onto your forearms, you can stay on your palms, you can lay all the way down on the ground. That is if you don't have a dog or a child or anything obstructing your way. Wherever you are, you should feel a nice stretch through your inner hip. And yes, this pose is intense. You will feel a deep stretch in your inner hip, inner thigh. But in yoga, we often say that you need to sit and feel what's happening physically and just be aware. Obviously, if it's pain that is sharp and shooting, you come right out. But if it's just opening and stretching pain, that's fine. Stay with it. Deep breath into your belly. And out through the nose. Stay connected with that breath. Maybe you get a little bit lower in your hips for these last few rounds of breath. Two more breaths. Inhale. Exhale out. One more breath. Make it your biggest breath yet. Inhale in. Exhale, breath out. Nice job. So if you are down on your forearms or on your belly, take your time. Move slowly. Walk your hands up. Sorry, Brent. And tuck your toes behind you. And just press your hips all the way up to the sky.
into a wide-legged downward dog. If you folded your mat, go ahead and unfold it. Walk your feet back onto your mat. Turn your toes in and relax your head and neck as you forward fold. Good, so just getting a nice counter pose in those hips. So as you inhale next, lengthen halfway up, lift with a flat spine. Keep your left hand down. Take your right hand to your right hip. Keep your right hip in line with the left. So sometimes it likes to lift up. Keep it in line with the left. Square those hips off. So lift through the chest, inhale, shoulders back. Now as you exhale, roll your right shoulder back as you press your right hip down. So that's allowing you to get a nice rotation through the spine while keeping your hips even. Once those hips stay even, you can extend your right arm to the sky, roll your right shoulder back, kind of stack those shoulders, get a nice rotation through the heart space. If you want even more here, your right arm can tuck behind your back and find the front of your left hip as you roll your right shoulder back. Wherever you are, your hand might even still be on your right hip or your right arm to the sky or tucked behind. Maybe you gaze out past that right shoulder, get a nice length through that right side. Good. Inhale, that right arm rises back to the sky if it's not already. Exhale, right hand down, let's switch sides. So right hand tense underneath your face, lengthen your right arm. Take your left hand to your left hip. Good. So as you inhale, lengthen your heart forward. Exhale, begin to roll your left shoulder back as you press your left hip down. Good. So it's a nice opposition there. Oftentimes, if you didn't self-adjust that left hip down, it would just lift right up towards the sky and then you wouldn't get a nice even stretch. So you want to press those hips evenly back, and you might stay right here holding that hip down. Maybe your left arm rises up to the sky. Roll that left shoulder back. Good. Maybe you tuck it behind your back to find the front of your right hip. Roll your left shoulder back, even look up towards the sky if that feels okay through the head and neck. Feel nice length through the spine, opening through the inner thigh and hips. Deep breath in and deep breath out. Nice job. Lift that left arm back to the sky if it's not already. Lower your left hand down to the earth, soften your knees. And let's begin to roll up to standing. Take your time. Tuck your chin towards your chest, take your hands to your hips. Good, and we're just gonna close our feet together, come to the top of your mat. Nice, feet hip width distance. Inhale, reach your arms up towards the sky, lengthen up high. And as you exhale, swan dive forward, soften your knees, forward fold. Relax your head and neck down. Inhale, lengthen halfway up, lift. And as you exhale, plant your palms, step your feet back, high plank pose. Big breath in. And exhale, lower chaturanga. Inhale, lift your heart, shoulders back, upward dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Lift your hips high. Inhale, take your right leg to the sky. Bend your right knee, stack your hips open. And as you exhale, let's take a big hip circle. Hug your right knee towards your chest. Open out and around. Right knee high. Exhale, hug your right knee in towards your heart. Place your right foot to the top of your mat. Spin your back heel down. We're gonna come right into warrior two. Inhale, windmill open. Warrior two. Exhale, sink into those hips. Good, right palm to the sky. Inhale, reach up and back, reverse your warrior. And exhale, hinge forward, reach your right arm straight out in front of you, and then take your right hand down to the inside of your right foot. Left arm to the sky, stack your shoulders, side angle pose. You can gaze up towards that left thumb, roll that left shoulder back. So we're gonna stay here another 2 to 3 breaths. You have a choice. You can take your left arm forward over the crown of your head, or you can take your left arm behind your back and roll that left shoulder back and get deep into those shoulders. You have another breath and a half here. Full inhale in. Full exhale out. If your left arm is not already reaching to the sky, take it back high. Ground into your right foot. Inhale, rise up, warrior two, strong legs. Nice, lengthen your right leg. Press your hips back, reach forward, lengthen your spine. Exhale, Trikonasana, triangle pose. Left arm to the sky. And again, you have options with this top arm. You can extend that left arm forward and roll your left shoulder back, giving nice length to the side waist. If you would like, you can also tuck that left arm behind your back. Creepy crawl that left hand around to your right hip. Get a little grip on it and roll that left shoulder back. Feel length through your spine, so crown of the head extends forward while your left hip presses back. Ground through those feet, deep breath in. And deep breath out. Good, maybe that left arm rises back up to the sky if it's not already. Exhale, let's shift that left arm forward, down towards the earth. Spin onto your back toes, lower your back knee down. Nice, let's heel toe our right foot out to the right. So it comes to the outer right edge of your mat. Hands will come to the inside of your right foot. Let your right knee open out. Sink your hips low. Roll your shoulders back, press your heart forward. And as you exhale, you might stay on your hands here, or maybe you come onto your forearms and really get deep in those hips. So if you do come onto your forearms and you feel, all right, I could even go deeper here, you can always take your right hand around your right ankle. And just tuck your right shoulder underneath your right, I like to call it the knee pit, but it's right behind that knee, behind your shin. So you'll get really deep in your hip here. Yeah. We've worked a lot on that inner hip through the beginning of class, so this might feel nice and open, or maybe it's now just getting a little bit more open. Wherever you are, you're working into those hips. Deep breath in through the nose and out through the nose. Nice job. If you are tucking your right shoulder behind, maybe come back to those forearms. We'll all meet, walking our hands back up under the shoulders, and then heel toe your right foot all the way over to your left wrist. We're gonna set up for pigeon pose. So take that right foot all the way over to the left, right knee slowly lowers to your right wrist. Extend your left leg straight back behind you as you square your hips forward towards the front of your room. Remember, if there's anything funky going on in your right knee, just come onto your back for thread the needle. Otherwise, join me in lifting your heart, shoulders back, big breath in. And as you exhale, maybe you crawl forward. Maybe you let your heart melt down towards the mat, sinking in. And in our pigeon pose, we want that left hip to press down towards your right heel. So you really feel a nice groundedness and opening through your right piriformis, through the right glute, and even up into the low back. Nice opening through the posterior chain as you inhale breath in through the nose. Let yourself focus back on an intention if you had one for your practice today. Take another full breath. Full breath out. Last full inhalation. And full exhale. With your next inhale, take your time. Slowly begin to walk your hands back up towards your hips. Take your time here. tuck your toes behind you. Send your right leg all the way up to the sky through three-legged dog. Reach it up high. You can circle that right hip all the way around. Get some nice blood flow back into that hip socket. Reach the right knee high, open. And exhale, downward facing dog. Take a pause here before we move on to that left side and just notice how your right leg feels compared to your left. Just take a little note, say, okay, maybe it's tired, maybe it's open, maybe it's happy, whatever it is. Just notice and observe, and we'll move on. Left leg, inhale, left leg to the sky. Bend your left knee, stack your hips open. And as you exhale, take a nice big hip circle. Hug your left knee towards your chest. Open to the left and around. And then hug that left knee in. Place your left foot to the top of the mat. We're going to windmill right into our warrior two. Inhale, rise up. Sink low in those legs. Nice. Inhale, left palm to the sky. Reach up and back. Reverse your warrior. Exhale, warrior two. Reach your left arm forward, create length. Take your left hand down to the inside of your left foot, right arm to the sky, side angle pose. So use that tricep to open your left knee out, stack your shoulders. Remember, right arm can reach forward over the crown of the head or even tuck behind the back to get a little bit more through the side waist and shoulders. Keep your hips opening and stacking. Keep your heart spiraling towards the sky. Nice job. Really let that right shoulder roll back. Look out past your right shoulder. Nice job. Deep breath in. And deep breath out. Now that right arm can rise back up to the sky. Ground into the left foot. Inhale, rise back up, warrior two. Lengthen your left leg. Press your hips back. Reach your left arm forward. Create length. And then tick-tock your arms. Left hand down, right arm to the sky. Stack your shoulders. Stack your hips. Trikonasana pose, triangle pose. So roll that right shoulder, right hip back. Again, find whatever variation you took with that top arm on the opposite side. Maybe it stayed reaching up. Maybe you extended it forward or took it behind the back to hook around the front of that left hip eventually. Wherever you are, that right shoulder is rolling back. Nice, deep breath here. Get that nice length through the low back, inner thigh, inner hip. Good, trust the legs, trust the feet. Nice job. If your arm is tucked behind your back, right arm can rise to the sky. Exhale, lower right hand down towards the earth. Bend your left knee, spin onto your back toes. Let your right knee lower down. And then heel toe your left foot over to the left side of your mat. So it can come to that outer edge. Hands will come to the inside of your left foot. Shoulders back, and you might stay right here. This might be plenty for your hips. Getting a nice opening here. If you want to get a little bit deeper into those hips, you can bend your elbows and take your time as you slowly come down to your forearms. Let your left knee open out. And so you're just getting that nice opening in the inner hip, inner thigh. Relax your hands, relax your head and neck, and remember, you can stay right here in this posture. If you want to go further into your hips, you can always take your left shoulder to your left knee pit. I think I'm gonna coin that one. This is your knee pit. Take your shoulder underneath, right in front of your left calf. So that's just kind of getting a little bit deeper into those hips, even into the hamstring a little bit on that left side. Deep breath here. Let yourself work into those hips with the breath. Remember to focus on stillness in our practice of yoga. Tune out those distractions around you. Take another full breath here. And then we'll make our way back to all meeting with our hands down on the mat, lengthening our arms. And begin to heel toe your left foot over to your right wrist. So you're setting up for pigeon pose. Let your left knee gently lower down to your left wrist. Take your right hip to your left heel. So again, if there's anything that's going on in that left knee that doesn't feel right, come onto your back for thread the needle. Always listen to your body first before you listen to me. Shoulders and hips square forward. Take an inhale, lift through your heart. And as you exhale, as you lower down, take your time. If you lower down towards your forearms, relax your head and neck. Square those hips towards the earth. Maybe you even close your eyes here and allow yourself to kind of come into that meditative state with the breath. Allow the body to melt towards the earth. Notice even if your jaw tenses up here, maybe your fingers or your toes begin to tighten, and if that's the case, just bring some movement into them. Wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes. Open through the mouth and unhinge the jaw. Let your breath draw into those spaces that need a little extra love, a little more softness. Steady breath in and steady breath out.
This is a dream, getting the royal scar, holding a diamond blade, throwing it.
Last full breath here.
Holding your breath.
Full breath out. Now take your time. Walk those hands up. Tuck your back toes and send your left leg all the way up to the sky through three-legged dog. Let that left leg rise high. And again, take some nice big hip circles. Open it out. Get that blood flow back into the hip sockets. Deep breath. And lower that left foot down to meet the right. Big breath in. And exhale out. Now let's tiptoe those feet to the center of the mat. Take your feet together. Bend your knees a lot so your hips come down towards your heels. And now open your knees out wide. Good. So you have a couple options here. You can either stay with your hands down on the earth and begin to bend your elbows so that your knees and your shins come to rest on your triceps. And you can pause here and kind of shift forward and open through the hips. Get a nice deep stretch, bending your elbows deeply. Or you can come into a balance posture. Heels together, knees open out, engage through your core, and take your hands to heart center. Shoulders back. So either posture, both are strengthening and opening the hips. Nice job. Keep a steady gaze. Try to stack the shoulders over your hips. Nice. Big breath in. And exhale. Let's take our hands back to the earth. Close your knees together. Lower your knees down. Keep your toes tucked behind you. Press your hips back onto your heels. Hands onto your thighs. Shoulders back. Really stretch through the arches of the feet. One more breath. Let your hips weight in towards those heels. Good. And slowly shift forward. Untuck those toes. Shift your hips to either side. We're going to come into butterfly pose. Soles of the feet together, knees apart. Scoot your hips close towards your heels. Hands interlace around your feet. Roll your shoulders down and away. Lift through your heart. And as you exhale, begin to hinge forward.
Roll your shoulders back, heart forward, butterfly pose. Deep breath in. And deep breath out. Good. Use your elbows to press your knees away. Good. Inhale, lift up. And as you exhale, reach your arms forward. Slowly roll down onto your back. Take your time. We're going to close our knees together. Hug your knees towards your chest. Give them a squeeze. And extend your left leg forward. Hug your right knee in. Right hand grabs a hold of your right foot. And just pull your right knee to the outside of your right rib cage, left hand to left hip. So we're coming into a half happy baby. Pull your right knee down so you feel a good opening through that right hip. Shoulders stay down on the earth. Big breath in, feel a good release through the low back and the inner hip, inner thigh. Good, and let's slowly release. Hug both knees towards your chest. Give them a squeeze. Extend your right leg long. Hug your left knee in. Take your left hand to the outer blade of your left foot. Curl that left knee around the left rib cage as your right hand comes to your right hip. So half happy baby on the left. Shoulders relax. Get a nice opening through the inner thigh, inner hip. Maybe even close the eyes as you pull that left knee outside the left rib cage. Big breath. Slowly release. Hug your knees towards your chest, and we're going to come into full happy baby. You guessed it. Take your hands to the outer blades of your feet. Knees open out around your rib cage. Shoulders relax down. Let your tailbone press down towards the earth. Soles of the feet towards the sky. Dip that tailbone down so your full spine is pressing down towards your mat. Really let those knees pull down. Deep breath in. And exhale, release your feet. Hug your knees towards your chest. Give them a squeeze. Good. Let's take our arms out. Cactus your arms out by your sides. Scoot your hips to the center of your mat as you dip your knees to the left, gaze to the right. Simple twist. Shoulders stay down on the earth. Deep breath in. And deep breath out. Inhale, take your knees back through center. Shift your hips slightly to center and left as you drop your knees over to the right. Gaze to the left, twist your spine. Keep your shoulders down on the earth. Deep breath into the belly. Good. Let's take our knees back through center. Give yourself one big final squeeze. Forehead towards your knees. Deep breath in. And as you exhale, just let everything go. Let your toes drop out. Let your palms face up by your sides. Close your eyes. Shavasana. Allow the body to just melt towards the earth.
Now, if you have the gift of time, please feel free to stay in Shavasana as long as you would like. If you would like to slowly make your way out of this posture, take your time, keep your eyes closed, and just start with gentle movements like a wiggle of the toes and a movement of the fingers. Maybe roll off to the right or left side of your body, coming into a fetal position. And with your eyes closed, your hands will prop you up slowly, coming into a nice, easy seat in your own time. And with your eyes closed, if you have joined me in a nice, easy seat, just take your hands to heart center and bow your chin. Take a moment of self-reflection. And also take a moment to honor the light that dwells within each and every one of us. Namaste. Thank you so much for practicing with me. If you joined me on Zoom, feel free to stay and we can chat afterwards. If you are here on YouTube, remember, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. You can hit that little bell if you want to get alerts as to when I go live or post a new video. And if you really want to talk to me and say what's up, go ahead and DM me on Instagram at Katie Marie Yoga, or even leave a comment here on YouTube. Again, thank you so much for practicing with me, and I'll see you next time. Aloha.
Salty breeze and the waves, the slower pace, the salty breeze and the waves, no matter our want to live in an arbor town, like to see the boats leaving at the break of dawn. I want to live in an arbor town, surrounded by the sea my art is free. The salty breeze and the waves, the slow pace, the salty breeze